The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday's update, June 19, 2020, flash us back to October 24, 2006, when Phyllis and Nick first tried to get married. While fate had other plans. Can anything good really come of a relationship that began from an affair? Nick, Joshua Morrow, was at loose ends after the death of his beloved daughter, Cassie, Cameron Grimes. So was Sharon Case. Tragically, the couple couldn't turn to each other, leaving them to mourn alone. Well, Nick wasn't exactly alone. He fell into Phyllis's, Michelle Stafford, bed. You know how these things go. She was still technically with Jack, Peter Bergman. So they were both cheating. Classy. When Phyllis became pregnant, she wasn't sure who the father was, Jack or Nick. Also classy. The results are in. A paternity test pointed the finger at Nick, so the pair decided to get married. He had to divorce Sharon first. That wasn't pleasant for anyone. But finally, both Nick and Phyllis were free, and they were standing at the altar, ready to become man and wife when. Can anything good really come of a relationship that began from an affair? The result of Nick and Phyllis' affair was Summer. Yes, Phyllis and Nick's little girl, born on New Year's Eve 2006, tax deduction, should only be turning 14 years old this year. But she's a mature little thing, isn't she? She's ready for her second marriage to Kyle, Michael Mealer, after having an affair with him while he was still legally married to Lola, Sasha Kaye. So you tell us, was Summer, Hunter King, a good thing to come from Nick and Phyllis' affair? And if she was so great, why couldn't her parents get married before she was born? Find out on Thursday. The Young and the Restless recap for Wednesday, June 17, 2020, features yet another wedding day flashback. This one is from July 1997. Olivia is preparing to marry Malcolm. While dreaming about Neil. Is that why she's MIA to her own ceremony? Plus, Phyllis lies to Danny by lying to another guy, and Jill continues to worry about things that are none of her business. Malcolm, Shamar Moore, is pumped for his wedding, and he has no reason to believe his bride-to-be doesn't feel the same. So why is Olivia, Tanya Lee Williams, dreaming about her brother-in-law, Neil, Christophe St. John? And why, on what's supposed to be the happiest day of her life, not counting her last wedding day, and her son's birth, and other things we may not know about, is she calling into work and then going into work? We get it. She's a doctor. They have a harder time getting days off than most people. But does it really bode well for her marriage when Olivia just barely makes it to church while making it clear getting married is pretty much her last priority? Danny, Michael Damian, is confident that a paternity test will prove little Daniel is his biological son. Phyllis, Sandra Nelson, is sure of it, too. Just as soon as she gets a blood sample from the real dad, Brian, and switches it with Danny's. And convinces Brian they slept together. Easy peasy. Daughter-in-law. Jill, Jess Walton, knows that her stepdaughter, Trisha, this is from Keith, the husband even Jill barely remembers, is in love with Brian, Scott Reeves. Brian, however, is married to Nina, Trisha Cast, who is the mother of Jill's grandson, Philip, now known as Chance. And yet, still, we don't see how this is any of Jill's business. The Young and the Restless, airs weekdays on CBS. Check your local listings for airtimes. CBS The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers here with a fun throwback spoiler where we get to see Ridge Forrester, Ron Moss, try his best to Shanghai a collaboration deal between Forrester Creations and Jabot. Granted, it's so he can make a party for his wife of the day, Taylor Hayes, Hunter Tylo. The rest of the Forresters are there to help keep things on track, but will they succeed? The Forresters invited Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, to Los Angeles and their office at Forrester Creation to pitch their collaboration idea and close the deal before the holidays, but nothing ever seems to go right when they bring in someone from Genoa City, and it's usually a male Forrester's fault. CBS The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers have often wondered while watching these theme weeks just how does Forrester Creations stay in business with Ridge around? And yes, we're singling Ridge out because this one is totally on him, and he also managed to burn his bridges with Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, at some point. This time around, Ridge tried to hurry the meeting to a close because he promised to be at Taylor's party, that was being held in her honor by Dr. Pierce Peterson, Paul Satterfield Jr. Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, took offense at Ridge's attempts, and that may have stirred up some fun times. But even the siren's powers were limited in this case, as it seems pretty safe to say Jack isn't happy to have flown to Los Angeles to have his time wasted by someone that had better things to do. Of course, Eric Forrester, John McCook, and Thorne Forrester, Windsor Harmon, were there to help pick up the pieces, but were they enough? CBS The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers doubt it, and it wouldn't surprise us if this is where the animosity between Jack and the Forresters began. To be fair, it takes some serious talent to piss off just about every powerful man that could help the family's company out, but Ridge is good as what he does. While he seems to have settled down some as he's gotten older, Ridge will always have that rebel inside fighting to get out. In the way, he's an extremely fun character as he never stops trying to go after something he wants. How many times has Ridge lost FC a deal? Let us know below, and follow CBS The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for the latest news, spoilers, and speculation. CBS The Young and the Restless spoilers here with some fun throwback spoilers involving two of our favorites, Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, and Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford. It takes talent to have a wedding in Genoa City interrupted by anything as the gods seem to smile on these moments of happiness, but they manage. Not that it's their fault, it was bound to happen at some point. It may even be deserved since neither of them are innocent. But then, that's what makes these shows fun, isn't it? Originally aired on October 24, 2006, this episode brings to life the wackiness of Halloween on television, and just gives us more to enjoy. If there's one thing Nick and Phyllis are good at, it's making things harder than they have to be. Seriously. Is there another couple on daytime television that find more ways to create havoc with one another aside of Phyllis and anyone else? Even her daughter currently knows that Phyllis and Nick are better apart than together, and that's something they should pay attention to. Or we'd think they would. But alas, someone interrupts their wedding for one reason or another, and causes all sorts of mayhem. We'd go into greater detail, but we wouldn't be a good spoiler site if we gave away everything, would we? Instead, CBS The Young and the Restless spoiler are curious if this will be an early trick-or-treater, or just someone one of both of the duo have caused some harm to along the way. As we mentioned earlier, Nick and Phyllis aren't innocent, meaning it's not like both of them haven't left people used up or beaten along the roadside at some point. Still, interrupting a marriage and stopping it in Genoa City are two completely different things. We expect a ceremony to continue even if one of the members is in a coma. It's just that important to the characters. With that in mind, they do finish the ceremony despite the problems and begin a new chapter. To be fair, it's good to see Phyllis and Nick happy. It's one of the few times she can really relax and just enjoy life. She may be a disease and other things, but she's also a loving and caring person to those that haven't wronged her at some point. And Nick, well, Nick is Genoa City's Batman without the cool suit and desire to combat crime. He prefers to sulk and brood between brief moments of happiness. Should Nick and Phyllis be given the chance to live happily ever after? Let us know below, and remember to check back with CBS The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for the latest updates, spoilers, and speculation around.
Who else can't wait for new Young and the Restless, Y&R, episodes to hit the airwaves? It seems as if fans might inch closer to this, but in the meantime, at least there are still interesting theme weeks and classic episodes to enjoy. What memories will audiences revisit in the coming days? Below is an outline of Y&R spoilers for the week of June 15, 2020. From the bride's attire to the flowers, cute flower girls and groomsmen, the party afterward, and of course the cake, everyone loves a good wedding. There have been so many different ways that Y&R couples have said I do over the years, and fans get to relive all the love and drama with Genoa City's memorable weddings week. Wonder which weddings will be featured? one of Sharon and Nick's weddings, as well as one ceremony he's had with Phyllis. Let's face it, Nick has had multiple weddings with both ladies. Additionally, Y&R viewers will get to fondly remember couples of the past, as the week will showcase weddings between super couples Olivia and Malcolm, as well as Danny and Cricket. Last but not least, we see Victor and Nikki get hitched. Weddings Week will spotlight wedding ceremonies that date back as far as the 1990s, and as recent as 2013. The interesting thing as well is the fact that viewers will be privy to a diverse set of wedding events, from traditional to destination, and one that seemed more like a disaster than anything else. All in the name of commitment. The great thing about these classic episodes and theme weeks is that Y&R fans get to see some old favorite characters, who we miss, pop up on our small screens. From Danny Romalotti, played by Michael Damian, to John Abbott, Jerry Douglas, Olivia, Tanya Lee Williams, Malcolm, Shamar Moore, Ryan, Scott Reeves, Nina, Trisha Cast, and more. Remember when actress Heather Tom played Vicky? You'll get that too this week. Relive young love in all its glory, as Nick and Sharon's first walk down the aisle is featured for Monday's episode. Originally airing on February 19, 1996, Chic will fluff off Nikki's objections and say, "I do anyways." In other storylines, Cricket will feel torn between Danny and Paul while Dina will be encouraged by Catherine to pursue John. Pack your bags because it's destination wedding time. Rewind through the years to November 16, 1990, when Danny and Cricket ruled the Genoa City roost as the top super couple in the land of Y&R. They'll decide to head to Hawaii to get hitched, and say their I do's in paradise. Meanwhile, Nikki hides a secret from the mustache. What is new? Friends and family come together to celebrate Olivia and Malcolm's wedding extravaganza. Originally airing on July 11, 1997, other storylines spotlighted for Wednesday's episode include watching a young Victoria, played by Heather Tom, causing issues within Ryan and Nina's relationship. Spoiler alert folks, Vicky gets the guy in the end.